Now on CoastTV News.
Park plans approved. Milford gives the green light for a new recreational space, but county and state leaders still need to weigh in. School expansion. Shovels in the dirt at Delmarva Christian, how the school hopes to handle more students. And offshore wind debate. The fight over coastal turbines is not over. What the legal battle could mean for the future of offshore wind.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Good evening. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11. We begin tonight with an update to a story that we first told you about at 6. What's now an open field along Rehoboth Boulevard in Milford is now set to become a new public park. Council members tonight voted 5-3 in favor of Deep Branch Park. It's a project estimated to cost more than $3 million and take about 5 years to complete. The plan has drawn mixed opinions from neighbors and city leaders. We spoke with Mayor Todd Culotta before tonight's council meeting. He's critical of the fact that this property is outside of city limits.
I know folks out there would like, to see a park closer to them, but we got to benefit all the citizens of Milford. And I think there's a lot of other locations we could look at within city limits that money could go towards.
Now, still, the project moved forward tonight. There's no timeline for construction just yet because the plans do still need county and state approval. Also in that Milford meeting tonight, the City Council voted to approve a contract for a new city manager. The job comes with a $195,000 salary and moving expenses. Officials say the candidate has 30 years of experience and is from out of state. Some residents think the salary is a bit too high, but others say it's reasonable.
I think it seems reasonable. The city administrator is the CEO of the whole city. He supervises everybody, and it's a big job. And he has, from what I understand it, the candidate has 30 years of experience.
City officials say they began searching for a new hire after current city manager Mark Whitfield announced his retirement last October. Well, a legal battle over offshore wind continues. Plans have been in the works to bring wind turbines along the coast. DENREC has already given the green light to U.S. Wind, but on Tuesday, an appeal was made to the Delaware Environmental Appeals Board. A retired tax lawyer says he sees some problems in U.S. Wind's certification of consistency, saying they did not take into account the long-lasting effects of the offshore wind project.
Potential damage to marine life, which seems to me to be real, based on what I read. We've got the aesthetic damage of having to look at these 938-foot towers that are very visible.
The Delaware Environmental Appeals Board ultimately decided to require DENREC to provide everything they considered while making the decision to approve U.S. Wind's certification of consistency. And this does bring us to our Coast TV poll tonight. We want to know what you think matters most in offshore wind decisions. Let's take a look at the results here on your screen. You can see 69% say environmental protection. That has been the most popular answer all day. Some people say energy independence, local job growth, or public transparency. But you can change these answers up. You might have a different answer. Just go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app and you can vote yourself. Now we're taking a live look outside into Lewis, and we're going to turn things over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Christina. Right now we have temperature of 61 degrees in Lewis, courtesy of our Irish Eyes camera. Winds right now pushing at about 7 miles per hour. And we're continuing to stay on the cool side now. Temperatures will dip down to about 59 degrees for us by the 3 o'clock hour. Here's where we stand right now. We're at 61 along the beaches right now, but it's 59 degrees in Long Neck, Milton, as well as Millsboro and into Gumboro, as well as Delmar. We have a small craft advisory that's active for right now, so we're concerned about that. A bit of a beach erosion problem possibly for us actually near Ocean City, and we're still looking for very blustery conditions as far as the winds are concerned. And in comes the rain that we're keeping a very close eye on because it may be sticking around for an extended period of time. We'll have more on your full forecast in a moment. Till then, back to you, Christina.
Tonight, a new chapter for a Georgetown-based Christian school. Delmarva Christian just broke ground on a major expansion. Right now, about 600 students go there, but soon they're going to have room for about 900 students. The new space on Sussex Pines Road will include a middle and high school, plus a pre-K center, and the current school that's getting turned into an elementary school.
Doors have continued to open for us to make a relocation to build the Arts and Athletics Center here, and then to expand into early learning and elementary and middle school, and then the vision to be able to bring everyone here on one campus so that we would be stronger together, better opportunities to have everyone together, young students learning from older students and being able to work together.
Now, all of the construction there is expected to be finished for the 2027-2028 school year. The project has a $30 million price tag, but almost all of that has already been raised through donations. Staying in Georgetown, Community Action Month is celebrated throughout the entire month of May, and First State Community Action Agency is one of 1,000 community action agencies across the country. Executive Director Bernice Edwards says there are important questions to ask when providing that community action.
How can we move them to that level that I might be here today, but where you want to be 5 years from now, and how can we help you get there? But we have the tools that's needed for that individual, whether it's education, it's job training.
And Edwards tells us the agency is celebrating 60 years of service in November. Well, June marks Pride Month, and this Sunday, Rehoboth Beach is welcoming the public to a brief ceremony. At noon on June 1st, there's going to be a proclamation and pride flag raising ceremony. It's happening right outside City Hall there in Rehoboth. And the 4th annual Rally for Our First Responders is back on Saturday, May 31st. It's happening in Milton, featuring vendors, live music, food, drinks, family fun, and first responder demos. It's all to honor local heroes, and tickets will be $10. Kids ages 12 and under, they get in for free. It's happening from noon to 5 p.m. at Hudson Fields. Moving to national news tonight, President Donald Trump escalating his clash with Harvard University, where he's expected to pull the plug on millions more in federal funding. Brian Abel is at the White House with details on the administration's latest move.
This would be the cancellation of all federal contracts to the university to the tune of roughly $100 million, according to two senior Trump officials. The White House giving this directive to all federal agencies to identify any contract with Harvard and determine if they can be canceled or redirected elsewhere, the officials said. This move comes after the president posted on Truth Social over the holiday weekend that he was considering, quote, taking $3 billion of grant money away from Harvard and instead reallocating that funding to trade schools. All of this happening as a status conference gets underway Tuesday in Boston, where a federal judge hears from Trump's and Harvard's lawyers about the ability of Harvard to enroll international students. The judge has already temporarily paused the administration's efforts to pull that program certification. Trump on Sunday said this after posting on Truth Social that the White House is still waiting for foreign student lists from the university.
We have Americans that want to go there and to other places, and they can't go there because you have 31% foreign. Now, no foreign government contributes money to Harvard. We do.
Harvard, as of October of 2024, does share a list of where its international students come from, showing the most international students coming from China, then Canada, India, South Korea, and the UK. The State Department is the entity that issues student visas for these students, so the administration should, in theory, already have access to a list. The president of Harvard, while on NPR, pushing back on the assertion that they haven't given the administration the information it has asked for, saying that, to the best of his knowledge, that claim was untrue.
What is perplexing is the measures that they have taken to address these that don't even hit the same people that they believe are causing the problems. Why cut off research funding?
A hearing on Harvard's challenge to the Trump administration's ban on enrolling international students is scheduled for Thursday. At the White House, Brian Abel reporting.
And we are just getting started tonight at 11. Coming up next, coastal concern. The beach at Assateague is open, but lifeguards are missing. What park officials are saying. Plus, a look at the lifeguard situation in Ocean City. Why beach patrol officials there say they're rescue ready.
Well, for our Bay forecast, get ready for some rain. We're looking for wet conditions for us on Wednesday. Maybe let's skip most of the wet stuff on Thursday. And another round of rain fires up on Friday. Your full forecast will be in just 60 seconds. For 10, 50 something, give me just something. All right, we take a look at what's happening with our forecast. I'm popping up the cameras right now, trying to see if we can see what's happening in Lewis. You know what? You guys remember Arthur Fonzarelli? Boom, there it goes. All right, here we go. So our Irish Eyes camera, right now we're at 59 degrees actually by 2 o'clock, and we're looking for partly to mostly cloudy skies for the rest of the night, and we're going to be bracing for a round of rain that will come knocking on our door. 61 degrees for us actually Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, 59 Long Neck, 59 also in Millsboro, Georgetown, as well as Gumboro. We do have a small craft advisory that's active for us from Lewis down towards Ocean View, Fenwick Island, and actually from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague, we have a small craft advisory, but also we have a beach erosion concern that's just popped up as a recent concern from the National Weather Service. We get a good idea as to the rain as it's cascading quickly across the Delmarva Peninsula for right now, and it's mainly in the form of just light to moderate shower activity. Most of it is just sprinkles, and a lot of it is virga. By the way, when I speak of virga, that's when we have rain that happens in the upper atmosphere and then it doesn't reach the ground, so that's the name of it. But a lot of this is actually playing out as virga for us. Our evening planner, we're looking at it staying very clear for us right now, but we anticipate that we're going to see these scattered showers continuing to push throughout our region for the rest of the evening. Now, as we begin to take a look at what's happening with our forecasting maps, you'll notice as we go into Wednesday, in the morning time, we see temperatures in the 60s. We have onshore flow that's staying pretty steady into the mid-morning hours. We look for widespread scattered showers to continue. Then it'll begin to break up for us as we go into late portions of Wednesday. Thursday, early in the morning, we may have a sprinkle or two. Now, from Ocean Pines down towards Pocomoke City, the same situation, pretty much the same timing of it actually, and by the time we get to lunchtime, and then we could see some heavier showers try to pop up near Pocomoke City around 3 o'clock. That could turn into an isolated thunderstorm cell, not necessarily severe, but one that could be a bit problematic. Now the winds are going to pick momentum right around lunchtime for us, particularly in Ocean City, Bethany Beach. We're expecting 30 to 32 mile per hour wind gusts to begin to fire up right around that time frame. But as far as our precipitation is concerned, massive chance, 100 whopping % chance for us on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. We'll have another round of rain that'll come into play by then. So here's a look at Friday. We look at a couple of meso or small scale low pressure systems that are going to be dancing around the area in general. And then we'll have yet another wave of rain that's going to hit us by Saturday. But then by the time we get to Sunday, a lot of this will begin to clear out of the way. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Now, we are calling for a yellow alert day for Wednesday. When we say yellow alert, we're looking at steady showers between, let's say, a half inch to up to an inch. And we're looking for maybe 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. If it was at 40, then we would be calling for a red alert day, especially if it encased or it involved 1 inch of rain.
Got it. Paul Williams, thank you. Well, with summer quickly approaching, Assateague Island National Seashore finds itself in a sticky situation. The island's superintendent says the national parks in both Maryland and Virginia do not have any lifeguards, and it's not clear if and when that will change. Park officials could not go into much detail, but say they are working to fix the problem as quickly as possible. In the meantime, one parent we spoke with says her family will stay in the state park, which does have lifeguards.
Having children, it's very hard to educate them on the safety of the ocean. Oceans have a mind of their own and we can't control it, but we can control how we could take safety precautions to avoid situations.
And until this problem gets fixed, Assateague officials say state park lifeguards will help out with any emergencies on the Maryland side of the island. Now, just a few miles to the north, it's a much different situation. Ocean City's Beach Patrol expects to be fully staffed this summer. And back in March of 2023, Beach Patrol Captain Butch Arbin signaled a hiring crisis. The town quickly approved new incentives and raised pay. Now, 2 years later, Arbin says it continues to put his crew in a really good spot.
We're still testing, we're still employing, we're still training, but we're expecting to have a full complement this summer. All the stands that are supposed to be out there, and we're just looking for another great year.
And Arbin says new recruits, they could be in Ocean City lifeguard chairs by the middle of June. Coming up next, a park shooting in Philadelphia. 2 dead and 9 hurt. What police say sparked the violence.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
In regional news tonight, a mass shooting in Philadelphia's Fairmount Park left 2 people dead and at least 9 others injured on Monday. Police believe there were 3 people who opened fire at a large unplanned gathering. It was organized on social media. And at a press briefing this morning, Philadelphia's mayor spoke passionately about the work being done to stop this type of violence.
We will not be held hostage by anyone who decides that they want to get assault-like, war-like weaponry, guns with switches. Here, the law enforcement officials, our police department, they're listening to video and they're listening to the shots being fired, and it's clear, that it's not a handgun.
And at least 3 of the victims were juveniles. All of the wounded people have been reported to be in stable condition. It is unclear how many shooters were involved. No weapons have been recovered so far, and no one has been arrested. Meanwhile, 2 states, 2 manhunts, both involving dangerous inmates on the lam. As Laura Aguirre explains, the latest jailbreak involves a suspect who is well versed in how law enforcement operates because he spent years in uniform himself.
He's a sociopath.
This former Arkansas prosecutor is talking about 56-year-old Grant Hardin, who remains on the run this hour. Hardin escaped from a northern Arkansas state prison Sunday afternoon. Records show he was serving 30 years for murder and 50 years for rape.
Prison's not full of people who are all bad. It's full of a lot of people who just do bad things. Grant's different.
The difference is that Grant is a former law enforcement officer, according to an investigation discovery documentary, which shows Hardin having served as a police officer, police chief, and a county constable during his career. He went to prison in 2017 for murder and 2 years later pleaded guilty to rape after his DNA linked him to a 1997 crime, court documents show.
It makes it even more shocking when a person who wears the badge would betray not only victims, but his community's sense of right and wrong.
On Sunday, prison cameras captured Hardin wearing a makeshift outfit designed to mimic a prison official. Authorities believe he exited through a controlled and secured area, wheeling a cart of boxes and wood. Multiple law enforcement agencies are on this manhunt, one that comes less than 2 weeks after 10 inmates broke out of a New Orleans jail. 3 more of the fugitives were captured yesterday. Police dashcam in Huntsville, Texas shows the moment 2 of them were taken into custody after a vehicle pursuit Monday. The 3 joined 5 others who were caught last week, leaving 2 on the run tonight. Jail officials say both men should be considered armed and dangerous. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Coming up in sports, Cape Henlopen Baseball tried to defend its top seed in today's playoff game. Could the Vikings advance to the semifinals? And coming up, to get the shot or not, new recommendations about COVID vaccines from health officials.
And it's official about the golf forecast. It's not going to be a good situation. In fact, you can forget about it, as they say in some gangster movies, because it's going to be wet, rainy, and cloudy.
Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. posted a video on social media today where he, along with other health officials, announced that the CDC would no longer recommend the COVID vaccine for healthy children and pregnant women. Take a listen.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS Secretary, and I'm here today with NIH Director Dr. Jay Bhattacharya and FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
That ends today. It's common sense and it's good science.
There's no evidence healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
And the change from the CDC comes a week after an FDA commissioner announced the agency planned to restrict the use of COVID shots to older adults, along with children and adults with underlying medical conditions. Well, good nutrition is important to help young children grow up healthy and strong, but getting kids to eat and enjoy new foods is not always easy. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has tips on how to help picky eaters.
It can be hard to get children to eat the foods you know they need, but experts say most times it's a normal part of growing up.
Picky eating or eating certain limited foods at times is a developmental stage.
Dr. Stephen Cook is the director for the Center for Healthy Weight and Nutrition at Nationwide Children's Hospital. He says many young children go through periods of preferring certain food colors or textures, but they'll grow out of that. Until then, he advises parents to repeatedly try a variety of unprocessed, healthy foods. And he says it may take time for children to acquire the taste of new foods.
It's 15 to 20 tries to get a kid used to it. You know, and our instinctive responses, they make one face when they try something. Then we're like, oh, they don't like it, we're going to try something else. Well, no, just a try can be a lick. A try can be a smell or a taste.
Cook also says to be a good food role model. If children see you like something, they're more likely to try it. And avoid snacking, what he calls grazing, during the day so that children are hungry for meals. And he says not to be a short order cook.
Don't be like, well, I'm making them chicken nuggets and mac and cheese because that's all they're going to eat. Well, if the meal for the family is, pork chops and some green beans and mac and cheese, then you put that on their plate and maybe don't put as much, but you say, this is what we're having and you can choose to eat it or not.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, your first instinct could be to hit the snooze button when your alarm goes off in the morning. But according to a new study, that could actually be causing you to lose sleep. The average snoozer tallies an extra 11 minutes in bed after their first alarm goes off. But the study's author says that isn't usually quality sleep and that those minutes can add up to about a night's worth of sleep per month. So what to do to avoid the snooze? Experts say you should set your first alarm as late as possible.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The spring sports postseason rolled on today in Delaware. Top-seeded Cape Henlopen hosted 9-seed Delaware Military Academy with a trip to the state semifinals on the line. Bottom one, Cape up 1-0. Malachi Woods rips a base hit to center, driving in another run, but the play didn't end there. The throw gets away from the catcher, then an error down at second base allows another Viking runner to score, making it a 3-run inning. Then in the fifth, all tied 4-4, Jace Mitchell gets all of this ball, crushing it way over the right field fence for a 2-run homer that put the Vikings ahead for good. Cape Henlopen would go on to win 7-5, advancing to the semifinals to play Salesianum on Thursday. And in softball, the best Cinderella story of the spring continues. 12-seed Sussex Tech takes down 9-seed Sussex Academy to clinch a spot in the state championship game on Friday at the University of Delaware. They'll take on the winner of 2-seed Caravel and 6-seed Smyrna. And in minor league baseball, the Shorebirds stay red hot. Delmarva picked up a series opening win over the Hickory Crawdads 4-2 tonight. The Shorebirds came in winners of their previous 2 series. And we'll have the broadcast of tomorrow's game bright and early on DSN with an 11:05 a.m. first pitch. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Coming up next, the nation's top spellers go head-to-head in Maryland. Details on the National Spelling Bee after this. The The 97th Scripps National Spelling Bee. It's underway in Maryland, and more than 240 speller competitors age 14 and under will compete in the competition. There's one 8-year-old in this year's event to represent the youngest person, and the final is set for Thursday evening. The winner will receive $50,000 cash.
Wow, that's good money right there, right? All right, so our tidal health camera in Salisbury, we're actually at 58 degrees, dew point at 51, winds at about 6 miles per hour. Now, we are expecting light to scattered showers to begin to kick in for us. And really, this is going to be a rainy situation really for the next couple of days in a row. All that in mind, here's a latest look at what's happening with our live radar. We are picking up more steady showers down towards Capitola and coming towards Quantico. Now, as we widen the scope here, you can see we're expecting heavier showers begin to make its move coming in from the west. We do have a beach erosion advisory that's been issued for Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague, as we're going to be dealing with some very gusty winds along with the rain that's going to be falling over the next few days. The amount of rain is so plenteous that it's going to loosen the beaches a little bit, and that extra wind is going to possibly cause some damage there. Carl Pierce over Rehoboth Beach, congratulations, you're our umbrella winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. We are calling for a yellow alert day for Wednesday because of the wind, because of the rain, because it's going to be really, well, meteorologically speaking, yucky.
Yucky. I knew you were going to say yucky. Thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 11 tonight. For some more local news and local weather, you can always download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and join us again tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.